Liebherr Biomedical support videos, professional series settings adjustments. This video is to show how to adjust the common settings that you may wish to adjust on your appliance. To enter the settings program, you hold down the bell button with the diagonal line, which is the button you would depress to quiet an audible alarm. You hold it for 5 seconds. The screen will now display an approximate \5 with the symbol of a spanner. Down arrow once will get you to little t, little c. That is the date and time. To enter that setting, you press the enter button. What will show is Y, and if this is for the first time, it'll be 00. To change the year, what you will do is press the enter button, and that will allow you then to adjust the number up or down to the desired year. Once you have the desired year, you would press enter again, and it will show you Y for year and the year. If you arrow up once, you will then get to the month, N03. To adjust the month is again the same sequence. Press enter and you will be allowed to adjust up or down. Once you have the desired month, press enter and it is set. Arrow up once again will bring you to the day of the month. Again, the sequence is the same. To enter it, press enter, up, down, or up to the desired date. Press enter and you have set your day. Arrow up once more will give you the day of the week, starting on a Monday. So I'm doing this on a Thursday, so it is the 4th day of the week. To adjust that, same sequence. Press enter and use your up or your down to adjust to the correct day of the week, and press enter. Arrow up once more will bring you to the hour. Same sequence, press enter. You can then adjust using the arrows up and down to the right hour. Press enter once you have selected that. And the last arrow up will bring you to the minutes of the day. Sequence is the same, press enter. Will allow you then to come in and adjust the minutes. Once you have selected the correct time, press enter again and you have selected it. Once you have your correct date and time selected, you then depress the bell button with the diagonal line once to bring you back out to the time setting within the operations. If you press down once, you get a symbol DSE. That's an automatic conversion that the appliance has built in for European summertime, and I suggest you would like to deactivate that. To deactivate that, you press enter to enter into it, and you will change the display setting from 1 to 0, and press enter again and you have deactivated the European summertime conversion. Arrow down once more will give you RL. That's the minimum temperature recorded log. That will be covered in another video, so I'll bypass that. RH is the maximum temperature recorded inside the log. Again, that will be covered in another video, so I'll skip past that. One more down is the number of hours, RT, that the temperature log has been running since last reset. Again, that will be covered in another video, so I'll bypass that. One more down is P1. P1 is a keypad lock. I will show you specifically later how to lock the keypad, so we'll bypass that at the moment. Next is H4. H4 is a setting that allows you to deactivate the audible alarm. To do that, you press enter. It's currently on 0. If you change that to a 1, you would deactivate the audible alarm. You would press enter to do that. I will not do that because audible alarms should never be deactivated. You want the alarms to tell people audibly that alarm is activated, so I would leave that at 0. and press enter. One more down will take me to HO. HO is changing the network address for a RS485 interface. That is used if you are connecting the device into a business management system and using Modbus protocols to take the data into a management system. So I'll bypass that at the moment. That is only ever supplied to those people who need, and it is in the owner's manual. One more down will give me ASD, and that's a reactivation time for the audible alarm. If I press enter, it'll tell me that 1 means 1 minute. So if the audible alarm goes off and someone deactivates the audible alarm by pressing the bell button with a line through it, then 1 minute later, if an alarm's still activated, the audible alarm will come on. Now you're allowed to adjust this up and down. Maximum is 120. I'll go this way to show you, and you can go up for a few. I would never suggest having it longer than 5 minutes, because an audible alarm activation is designed to make people pay attention to it. So I'll leave it at the factory setting at 1 minute. One more down will be ASN. And ASN is a reactivation of the audible alarm. And to enter that, press enter. It will display 0, which is a factory setting, so the audible alarm is not reactivated. If I press R up once, I've now activated reactivated the audible alarm. So what will happen if someone deactivates the audible alarm when it's beeping and turns it off? It will then reactivate at the preset time that we set in the delay previously. Press enter to select that. Arrow 1 down is the alarm delay, which is AD. And AD, to enter it, press setting. At the moment, the alarm delay is 60 minutes. I would highly recommend to bring that down. Industry standard would bring that down using the arrow down button to, I would suggest 15 minutes. You can go slightly shorter, but if you go much shorter than 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes is okay. If you go shorter than that, you run the risk of alarms activating too often simply from door openings. So 15 is about right, international standard. Get the setting that you'd like and then press enter. Arrow down one more, we get to AH. Now AH is the high point alarm variance from set temperature. So this is a temperature variation from your set point. If I press enter, it will show 5 degrees. The set point for this being a freezer is minus 20 degrees. So that means AH is 5, so that the high temperature alarm will activate at minus 15 degrees. So that's minus 20 plus 5 degrees. That is generally the right variation for a freezer. You can adjust it up and down as you wish. At this stage I'll do it for 4 for demonstration purposes and press enter. So now the alarm will be activated at minus 16 degrees for a high temperature. Arrow down one more time is AL. AL is the low temperature alarm variance point from set temperature. I press enter and that's set at 5 degrees. Again, I can adjust it up and down. You can make it larger or shorter. 5 degrees is the factory. 5 degrees variance is the factory setting. So minus 20 degrees, minus 5 degrees for a freezer makes it minus 25 degrees Celsius. Press enter and you have set it. Arrow down one more is D8D, and that is the adjustment of the door alarm. To press enter, it shows you the factory setting is 1 minute. So if your door is open for 1 minute, the door alarm will come on. To adjust that again, you can't go down, but you can go up to your desired level. Again, I would not have it at a large number. Generally, I prefer to leave it 1 minute to advise people to close the door, because you don't want to leave doors open long for fridges and freezers in the biomedical environment. You may wish to use it 2 or 3 in your own applications. At this stage I've left it at 2 and press enter. Arrow down one more will bring me to D6. D6 is the defrost display setting. This shows different ways to see the defrost. If I press enter, it is on level 1. Level 1 will give you a symbol inside the screen when the unit goes into defrost. I would recommend to change it to 0. 0 gives you far more detailed information. If the appliance goes into defrost, it'll give you the large letters DEF in the screen. Change it to 0 is my recommendation. Press enter and set it. There are 4 more settings we will go past. One more down will give /C3. That is to calibrate a product sensor. That's a secondary sensor that you may put into the device and wish to calibrate. /C1 is calibrating the control sensor, which is the sensor that runs the device itself. All Liebherr biomedical equipments are already pre-tested at a 9-point calibration test at the factory before dispatching, so there will be no need to calibrate your appliance from the start. So I'd bypass that. /A3 is activating a product sensor. So if you do wish to run a remote sensor into the electronics and run the temperature display off that remote sensor, this is the area you would go into. Again, that would only be shown in need, and that information is in the operation instruction. And the last down is /T1, and that is to switch the temperature display between the control sensor, which is what comes with the device, and a product sensor, i.e. a secondary sensor you put in. So that would change the temperature readout from one sensor to the other. Again, that would only happen if you need to do that. And one more down in the sequence gives you the starting point, which is where you just enter into the settings. To exit the settings and to make sure the settings are retained, it's crucial that you hold down the setting buttons for 5 seconds. You see the letter PRO comes in the screen, and then the device goes to the current temperature, which is now called to -15.2 degrees.